From Capital Public Radio in Sacramento, this is Insight. I'm Jeffery Callison. Coming up, Solar-Powered People, a Central Valley band with an international following. Their music is inspired by the hypnotic indie rock of groups like Joy Division. You're listening to Insight. I'm Jeffery Callison. For more on our show, go to capradio.org/insight. Solar-Powered People is a Central Valley band with an international following. Their music is hypnotic indie rock, a style started by groups like Joy Division and Cocteau Twins. The latest CD, Living Through the Low, was released overseas as well as the US. Tonight they play the Copper Rhino in their hometown Modesto. I asked the band's singer-guitarist Tony Pennington about the distinctive name sometimes given to their style of music, shoegaze.
I think basically shoegaze is the style that came about in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people just coined it that name because the music was so drenched in effects that the musicians just spent, most of their time on stage looking at their shoes or their pedals.
Yeah.
Right.
And do you guys look at your shoes when you're playing?
Not so much anymore. We've gotten more comfortable in our shoes, so I think we try to make as much eye contact, with the crowd. At least I try better too.
Who are the best known artists in the shoegaze genre?
Oh, I'm gonna say Slow Dive for me.
And that's Dustin Morris there.
Yes.
I always liked My Bloody Valentine.
Ryan Kasha.
Yeah.
I have to say like Cocteau Twins,
Yeah.
Ride,
Definitely.
a lot of those bands.
Okay, great. Now, your band is called the Solar-Powered People. What does that mean, Tony?
Oh, wow. I'm going to try to make a long story short, but basically the name derived from more of a sci-fi idea I had about the future of the human race, and mankind had tried everything it possibly could to save our planet, and it failed except for a few people who were working with plants and things like that and crossing DNA. So they went underground and started a whole new human race of solar-powered people who were, powered by the sun and had photovoltaic skin and,
It sounds
lived on
awesome.
after that.
Did you do a song about them?
Not a song, not yet, but maybe we're writing the soundtrack to the movie that hasn't been written.
My guests are the band Solar-Powered People. They're based in Modesto. Their most recent album is Living Through the Low, and they're at the Copper Rhino in Modesto on Thursday night. And they have their instruments. It's a stripped-down version of the band. Tony, what are you going to play?
I think we're going to play a song called Washout that on the new album is only acoustic, but now we play it live as a full band.
Okay, well, let's hear it.
All right. Doing nothing with the day. Walk the
That was great. Washout, played in our studio by Solar Powered People. Now, on their MySpace page, helpfully, there's a blog that says 16 things about solar powered people. We're just going to talk about that a little bit now. And we'll start with Dustin Morris, guitarist. Says there that you wish you lived in the 40s. Why is that?
Oh, I just kind of, how I see this, today's world is a much more violent place. And when I think about, the yesteryears of America or whatnot, it just seems like a much more innocent place to live, and you're not fearing your neighbors much, and there's actually is neighbors, that people talk to each other.
You're the lead guitarist in the band. What kind of music did you come into the band from? Is this the kind of music you've always played?
Yeah, this is the music that I've always loved to play. Growing up listening to The Cure and all that kind of stuff, and it was just a beautiful fit for the band, I believe.
Yeah. Ryan Kasha, drummer?
Yes, sir.
Says you like 70s soft rock, which is very different from the shoegaze music that you're playing.
I love it.
Like who?
Like who? I grew up hearing Electric Light Orchestra.
Oh, nice.
America, Fleetwood Mac, Bread, the Carpenters, who've made some of the saddest music ever.
They did indeed.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like mixing some of that into the Solar Powered People sound?
I feel like we do. I mean, not purposely, but a lot of that stuff is really sad, and there's minor chords and whatnot, and a lot of those bands that are lumped in with the shoegaze scene, it's kind of like sad.
There is kind of a sad vibe to
Totally,
it.
it's sadness, heartbreak, whatever, and so whether you want to emulate a sound or a song or whatever from, years back or not, I just think that your influences are going to come through, regardless.
Doug McKinnon, bassist.
Yes.
16 things about Solar Powered People. It says about you, you drink room temperature coffee. What's that about?
Well, usually not on purpose. I work at I work at a coffee house, and usually by the time I get around to my coffee, it's about room temperature, which is fine because then I can just slug it down really quick and continue with my day.
And Tony, it says you studied architecture and engineering. Is that true?
That is true.
Are you still an architect and or engineer?
Musically.
Musically,
yes.
Okay.
I put down the pen and the pencil holder, the lead holder, and everything to, pursue music.
The album, the song we heard, Washout from, Living Through the Low, was actually first released as a CD in Japan and the UK. You're an American band. Why did it work out that way?
Our label here out of San Francisco, Three Ring Records, released it digitally only. They had the rights to it digitally, iTunes, things like that. So we were hit by Quince Records to release it physically, so we could, distribute the rights to them. We wanted non-exclusive rights over there, so, and then we were contacted by Black Nutria out of Italy via our friends out of Denmark called The Foreign Resort. It just made a relationship that way. So the two overseas albums are physical distribution, and the one here is digital.
Are you going to play overseas?
Yes, we're planning on going in October of this year. At the end, I think we're going to do 4 shows in Italy, 3 shows in Switzerland, a show in Denmark, and 2 in Germany, if everything goes well.
A lot of traveling.
Yes.
You're going to be in a bus?
Some form of people carrier, I guess. I don't know if it's going to be a bus or not, but we don't have to lug all of our, bigger equipment around because the label over there is going to backline everything for us. So we just have to take our guitars and pedals.
We've got a track that's a new track. Ryan Kasha, could you tell us about this new song?
This was just something that came to us, through, we like to just play around with ideas. It just came really quickly. I think it was, what did we write it in, like one rehearsal?
Yeah.
Pretty much. And
just kind of wrote itself.
And we went in and tracked it in a day. We tracked it in like one take.
Yeah.
And it's called?
Last Lust.
Okay, let's hear a bit of it. Ryan, that sounds peppier than some of the sadder sounds that I've heard from your band.
Yeah, it's driving definitely, but there's undertones of sadness, minor stuff and whatnot. The tones, everybody uses, especially like on the guitars, they tend to be kind of dark.
Yeah. My guests are the band Solar Powered People. They're at the Copper Rhino in Modesto on Thursday night. They are Tony Pennington, Ryan Kasha, Doug McKinnon, Dustin Morris. And they're going to play another song for us in our studio. Tony, what's this song?
This song's called They'll Never Say.
And that's from your first album?
Yes.
Okay, well, let's hear it.
All right.